The Last Halloween 2, Penguin shot, Batman framed. Comic recap: it's November, a cold, damp night out on the water. Two figures strain, wrestling with heavy chains wrapped around a massive, pale form. "Oof," grunts one. "He weighs like a ton," the other man replies, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. "Hey, remember that time we threw Mickey Gatso and his brother out here for Sal? Them's were the days." They force the chained figure to the edge of the boat. Rain splatters around them as the waves churn. "You think it's true what they say about this guy?" one asks. "Like what?" "That he can, come back from the dead. Like one of them zombies." With a final shove, the chained figure pitches forward into the dark, cold water. "What, Ray, you stupid?" the first man snaps. "The only thing you gotta worry about common way out here is winged creatures." He watches the massive figure sink beneath the choppy waves. We arrive at Arkham Asylum. Not a prison, but a place for the criminally insane, the freaks, as the underworld calls them. Walking down a stark, echoing corridor, Batman observes, drawing a line between two different kinds of evil. Robin looks around, wide-eyed. "Wow, I had no idea it was this big inside. And no vacancy." Batman's gaze is steady. "Just that we and you, of course, have done a really great job catching these insaniacs." "Meaning?" Robin asks. Batman continues, his voice low. "People think my presence attracts these criminals to Gotham." Robin scoffs. "That's crazy. It's like saying people get shot because cops carry guns. One thing's got nothing to do with the other." Batman simply replies, They walk a bit further when Batman turns to Robin. "I know something you don't know." Robin stops, a question in his expression. "Robin," Batman points to a cell door. "Julian Day." He explains, "This is the first time I have brought Robin here, so he can see for himself." Inside Arkham, the scene shifts to another cell in Arkham, one filled with an unnerving collection of hats. Jervis Tetch, the Mad Hatter, is curled on his cot, looking disheveled and agitated. He clutches a piece of fabric. We're reminded of the urgency. On Halloween night, a child was kidnapped, James Gordon Jr., the son of Commissioner Jim Gordon, a man Batman trusts. There's been no ransom note, no communication. Batman leans in close, his face a mask of intense focus, his voice a low growl. "You once held young Barbara Gordon captive, dressed her up like Alice in Wonderland." Tetch twitches, muttering nervously, seemingly lost in his own world. The March Hare said, "Take some more tea." He pulls at the fabric in his hands. Alice replied, "I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more." He glances up, eyes wide and darting. "You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing." The air is thick with desperation. Desperate times lead to desperate measures. Batman grabs Tetch, forcing him against the cell bars. "You did not always talk like this." Quoting Lewis Carroll, "So the doctors here will find you clinically insane." Tetch's eyes are wide, manic. "Yes, you're mad, bonkers, off your head. But I'll tell you a secret, all the best people are." Batman's voice is a low, dangerous growl, echoing in the small cell filled with Tetch's bizarre hat collection. "You are going to tell me what happened to the Gordon boy." Tetch slumps back onto the floor, surrounded by the hats. His voice is thin, unsettling. "I am fond of children." He glances away, his face twisting. "Except boys." Batman's grip tightens on Tetch. "They have coddled you in here, all of you, allowed to wear your outfits, keep your identities. That is the real madness." His voice is sharp, cutting through Tetch's rambling. "A child is lost. Now either you had something to do with it, or you know who did." Tetch's eyes dart around wildly. "Sack the walrus are ND the CRRP enter." Batman's face is grim. "Tell me what you know, or you will never leave this room." Tetch continues his babbling. "Gather, the walrus and the tell me." A final, panic sound escapes Tetch. "Ugtha, the penguin and the cop." Suddenly, Robin calls out, urgency in his voice. "Batman!" Batman turns his head slightly towards Robin, who stands outside the cell door. "There's something I need to show you, right away." Close-up on a medical procedure in progress, a glinting tool near an eye, the sound of a muffled wince. "Now, this might hurt a bit," a voice says. Another voice behind a mask responds, "Which one of us is the detective? I got shot. I thought I could deal with it, but the wound got infected." On Halloween night, Batman and Robin were chasing Catwoman when they heard a gunshot. She fell from a height that would have killed most. But when they got to where she landed, she had vanished, without a trace. Like young James Gordon. Now, in what appears to be an infirmary, a doctor in a blood-spattered coat holds a tool. Batman and Robin stand nearby as Catwoman sits, nursing a bandaged wound on her leg. Batman looks down at her. "I have been looking for you," Catwoman replies, her voice husky, "and now you've found me. So take the little bird and fly away." Batman presses. "What happened?" He states, "Dr. Thorne here has been helping." Batman's gaze is piercing. "I want to see the bullet." "And I want to see you without your mask on," Catwoman interrupts, her voice firm. "But that's not happening either," she explains. "It was a through and through." In the sterile, utilitarian infirmary, Catwoman sits on a cot, her leg bandaged, while Dr. Thorne stands nearby. Batman and Robin are here. Batman is focused on her injury. "We want your leggings and your gloves." Catwoman's eyes, visible through her mask, are sharp. "Why, you don't think I shot myself?" Batman is unyielding. "It's possible. We test your clothes for powder burns and clear this." Catwoman cuts him off, a faint smile playing on her lips directed at Robin. "He just annoys me. You, on the other hand," she purrs, "MRO." Batman's expression softens slightly as he looks down at her. "I can get you better medical care, the best in Gotham." Catwoman declines Batman's offer of better care. "I'll take my chances here, in Arkham, where it's safe." Batman raises an eyebrow. "Safe?" She looks at him, her expression unreadable behind the mask. "Don't act like you don't know where this is going. I got shot on Halloween night. Thanksgiving is coming up soon. And yes, it was a .22 caliber bullet." Batman's face tightens. "I stopped him before." Catwoman sighs softly. "It took a year. I might have 9 lives, but I'd rather not wait that long." Robin stares at her, a dawning realization on his face. Holiday. It is almost Thanksgiving. And still no word on James Gordon, or who shot Catwoman. In his office, Jim Gordon, looking weary, lights a cigarette, glancing at a framed photo on his desk. "You are smoking again," a voice notes. He sighs, putting out the cigarette. "Just recently. Barbara doesn't let me do it in the house." A police officer enters his office, carrying a wrapped object. "Sir, this just arrived. No note." She places it on his desk and begins to unwrap it. As the covering comes off, a grotesque sight is revealed, a pumpkin covered in pasted-on newspaper clippings, all screaming about the missing James Gordon. Articles read, "James Gordon missing. Where is Jimmy?" The officer states, her voice troubled. "I thought it might have something to do with your son." Gordon stares at the macabre package, his face hardening. "Ah, what the hell is it?" Gordon stares at the strange package, horrified. The officer, Lopez, looks surprised. "Commissioner." "I didn't know you weren't alone." Gordon sighs, removing the newspaper clippings. "Yes, he does that, Lopez." "Well, what does it mean?" Gordon reaches into the pile and pulls out something wrapped in dark fabric, 2 large fish. It is an old Sicilian message. Suddenly, a shadow falls over the room. Batman is here. He looks at the fish and the wrapping. That is his coat the fish are wrapped in. Solomon Grundy is dead. He would never take it off. Willingly. Gordon stands, his face troubled. "Leon, you don't think Mario Falcon is involved? Where would he get that kind of firepower? Grundy's strength alone, it might have something to do with Two-Face." "Harvey, why?" Batman examines the crumpled remnants of the pumpkin. "Grundy had been his friend or bodyguard." He sounds frustrated. "We're running in circles." As they talk, the distinctive shape of the bat signal appears outside the window, its beam cutting through the night sky. Gordon looks up, startled. "Who turned that on?" His voice is full of dread. "It wasn't me." Out on the snowy rooftop, snow falls gently around the bat signal, which shines brightly against the dark, cloudy sky. Jim Gordon, Batman, and Robin emerge from a doorway, footsteps crunching softly on the snow. 2 figures stand by the signal. "Took us a while to figure out how to turn it on," one of them says. "Of course," the other adds. "We didn't expect that you would be already in the building." He pauses. "Thought it was time we met." Working the same case, Batman stands tall, his cape catching the wind and snow. Gordon introduces the figures. "Batman, these are..." Batman cuts him off, his voice low and dismissive. "The men who have been all over my city, asking all the wrong questions." Gordon finishes the introduction. "FBI agents Edwards and Sullivan." Agent Edwards holds up a small, damp object wrapped around a light bulb. "Do you know what this is?" Batman identifies it instantly. It is a child's umbrella. Specifically, the one James Gordon was carrying the night he was taken. Agent Sullivan speaks up. "We were wondering, the Bureau, that is. What is your thoughts?" Gordon explodes, his voice hoarse with frustration. "The Bureau has had weeks to find my son. Weeks. And where the hell has it gotten you?" Agents Edwards and Sullivan shrug dismissively. Only trying to help, just doing the job. Batman holds up the child's umbrella. It's what we found at the crime scene, then turned over to them. He points to the handle. This umbrella, are you sure it is your son's? Someone took the time to put a false plastic handle over the real handle. Someone with knowledge of umbrellas and their construction. Gordon is taken aback. How could they have missed that? Batman's expression is grim, his voice a low growl. No one missed it. The FBI does nothing without a reason. He turns the umbrella slightly, revealing the distinctive shape of the handle. A penguin. It's Thanksgiving Eve at the Gotham Fish Market. If you're not buying a traditional turkey, this is where you'd be. Amidst the stalls and the crowds, figures huddle under umbrellas as a light rain falls. Oswald Cobblepot was bullied all his life. His long, pointed nose, tiny razor teeth, stout, short frame, an easy target to torment. Like so many others who felt abandoned by Gotham City, the Penguin turned to crime. Now, in a flash of light and sound, something happens. WAUGH. The Penguin is caught in the middle of a violent clash, bright lines of force radiating outwards as figures collide. But even amongst his so-called peers, the Penguin never earned the respect he craved. Batman stands amidst the market stalls, observing Oswald Cobblepot from a distance. You have been in hiding, Oswald, but even penguins have to come up for food. To his dismay, the Joker and Two-Face were not impressed. Oswald, enraged, flings fish at Batman. Have some fish on me, Batman. He ducks as Batman deflects the attack, sending fish scales and water flying. Even the Riddler considered Oswald beneath him. Perhaps that was the motive. Would kidnapping James Gordon get him a seat at their table? The Penguin scrambles away, umbrella in hand, leaving a trail of wet footprints in the snow, Batman hot on his heels. Oswald clambers up the steps, his small frame struggling. Shuff, shuff, shuff. Batman is right behind him, his voice sharp and demanding. Penguin, where is James? Oswald scurries across the elevated tracks, his face contorted in a snarl, monocle dangling precariously. Papers fly around him as he makes a desperate escape, clutching his umbrella. He runs across the rooftop, a frantic, waddling figure against the city lights. Batman chases the Penguin across the rain-slicked rooftops and elevated tracks, papers scattered around them like discarded thoughts. He leaps over gaps, his movements fluid and powerful. Batman's internal voice is harsh with self-recrimination. I blame myself. I got distracted, first by Robin, then by Catwoman. He pushes himself faster, the chase fueling his determination. He remembers Jervis Tetch's words in Arkham. The Mad Hatter told me. He changed the verse. It was not the Walrus and the Carpenter. The Penguin waddles frantically up a set of metal stairs on the elevated railway, Batman close behind. Oswald is muttering, I won't talk. I swear I won't talk. At the top of the stairs, three figures wait in the red-tinged darkness, carrying rifles and a hook. They are dressed like scarecrows. The Penguin stops dead in his tracks, eyes wide. Scarecrows. Batman's mind connects the dots. Jervis Tetch's deliberately misquoted verse. He said, the Penguin and the Carpenter. But these aren't carpenters. With a desperate cry, WAUGH. I'll take my chances with. Oswald turns back, lunging down the stairs and away from the scarecrows, straight towards the pursuing Batman. With a frantic turn, the Penguin waddles back down the stairs, choosing Batman over the figures looming at the top. But as he moves, a sharp red beam lances out from the scarecrow figures, hitting Oswald squarely in the chest. He cries out, his body jolting from the impact. Shot, the Penguin tumbles down the metal stairs, his top hat flying off, papers scattering. He lands in a heap at the bottom, groaning. The three figures in scarecrow masks descend the stairs, their rifles lowered. Oswald gasps, Ugh, I won't. T-talk. One of the scarecrows steps forward, their voice cold and flat. You're right, you won't. A heavy boot comes down with sickening force, crushing the side of the Penguin's head against the metal stairs. Crunch, the Penguin lies sprawled at the bottom of the stairs, dead. Batman is there, kneeling over the body. A small gun rests nearby on the wet metal. The list of victims grows longer. James Gordon, Catwoman, Solomon Grundy, now the Penguin, it's Thanksgiving. Batman looks around, his gaze sharp, a communicator in his hand. He speaks softly to himself or perhaps into the device. What am I missing? What is their connection? Behind him, the lights of the Gotham Fish Market, a kosher meat market, cast a dim glow on the scene, highlighting the grim holiday. Suddenly, bright spotlights blind Batman. Shouts ring out. Drop the weapon. Put your hands in the air. Batman shields his eyes, his face a mask of grim realization. Get that light out of my eyes. More shouts. Down on your knees. Police cars surround the area, red and white lights flashing in the swirling snow. The FBI agents are there, guns drawn. Batman understands. The FBI does nothing without a reason. Had me flush out the Penguin. Found me with the .22 caliber pistol. He lowers the gun he picked up. The scene becomes hazy, filled with what looks like fear gas or smoke. Now they have me to blame. The final words hang in the air. To be continued. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.